Okay friends, we are getting ready for these peaches. We did weigh them. There's about 10 pounds of peaches. I made a double batch of the syrup just in case because it's just not worth it to me to make not a syrup. So I am going to be canning them in syrup and not just in their own juices. Here, let's do this the other way. Because they don't retain their color and their flavor as well if you can them in just water. So I am gonna raw pack can them in a very light syrup. And I will take you along for that. But there's a lot of different steps to this. So we have to have the syrup ready because that'll go on them once they're in their cans. We have to skin them, so we are gonna blanch them. We have a cool water bath for them. And then once they've had those things happen to them, they need to sit in a debrowning solution that is water and lemon juice. You could also do water and citric acid, but I have lemon juice and I think that's better flavor. So that's what we're gonna do. So again, blanch, cool water bath, remove the skins, slice them up, put them in this debrowning situation. And then when I've got a bunch in there, we're gonna stick them in jars and put the syrup on them and then get them canned up. So I'm still waiting for the water to boil for the blanching. But once that is up, we will start doing all the things. I forget later, this is a jar from last year. This is our last jar from last year. And this is what they look like. And they really hold up well. The color is good. You know, we drain off the syrup, so there's not really much sugar other than the peaches in this. And they're so yummy. So we did this in quarts last time, like I said. Only my husband and I eat them, so we only get through about a half quart quickly. And so I'd rather do them in pints this year, so that's my goal, is to do pints. All right guys, my water is warm here, so I am going to just cut some slits at the bottom of these peaches and then drop them in gently. Just takes a minute or two for these in this hot water, and then we'll put them, I have a cold water bath right next to it. We'll put them in there. We will be doing these in batches. We only have 6 more minutes to go on the pasta sauce over here. So we'll take that off when it heats. It does recommend cutting these just in halves to jar up, but I found that the slices did just fine last year, so that's probably what I'll do again this year. It also says that the hot pack method goes better for peaches, but I found that the raw pack method went fine last year as well, so we'll see. These did travel 12 hours in a car, so I expect to find some bruise spots when I start to peel them, and we'll deal with that when we get there. More there. Ones we got in there already look like they're starting to peel. I'll give them 1 more minute. That one's starting to peel. It's starting to peel. Starting to peel. So you can just kind of look at them and you can see on some of them that the peels are already starting to come away. So I'm just going ahead and taking them out as I see that. We'll take these over to the cutting board. cut. We'll keep this water warm, but I don't think I'm going to load up the second batch in here yet, just because we really do need to do these sort of one batch at a time. So we'll turn this down. Come back to it when we are ready for the next batch. All right. So now that these are all in cold water, we'll take them here. I'll bring it along. Okay, so we have this bowl right here with the lemon water in it. And the skins will probably just go right back into this cold water. And then I have a box here with jars that we will not start filling those just yet. We're just gonna get them skinned and peeled. So this is how easy this is, guys. These peels just come right off after that blanching. Just so easy. So I think what I'm going to do is actually get them in this water just as soon as I peel them. We're going to put them in there. And then I'll show you when we've got them all in there. But it's so easy, guys. These just are like, I just have a little paring knife just to help me hold the skins, because otherwise they're slippery, but they just come right off. I'm gonna get another little bowl that I'm gonna put the skins and the cores in. And if they seem to have any peach left on them, I may make some peach scrap cider. But that is my jars over there being done. All right, so we've got this first batch, and look at them. This is that bowl with the lemon water, and they've been sitting in here for 5 or 10 minutes and they look just fine. So we are gonna just cut these up and start getting them into jars. They're a little slippery. Not sure how easily these will come off the, there we go. The pits actually come off really nicely, or those first two did. So we will probably not have anything to make peach vinegar with, which is fine. I'd love for all of my peaches to make it into the jars. So I'm just gonna do quarters for this jar. I'm just gonna see how that goes. So it looks like we're gonna get probably 2.5 peaches per jar. And I put the syrup back on the stove too warm, so that's warming as we do this. And we will probably just do a few jars at a time and then get the syrup in them. All right, that was almost 3. I don't think I'm gonna shove to get this last one in there. All right, so I'm just gonna keep going here and we will show you when we get to the next step. All right, so we're just gonna take the hot syrup. I grabbed a funnel. Where did I put the funnel? Sorry. And these are also gonna be to 1/2 inch. And these we will have to debubble, because there is lots of space in there for air bubbles. So because this is hot syrup in a hot jar, I am gonna go ahead and wipe these rims and get them into the canner before I start working on the next set. and I'll show you what we end up with. These process, I'll double check the book, but I think these process quarts for 25 minutes. I'm doing the raw method. Pints for 25 minutes. If I was doing quarts, it would be 30 minutes. But we are doing the pints today. All right, and then we'll come back and get the rest of these filled up. All right, so we have our first canner load of 10 pints. And we still have a lot of peaches left. This is how many peaches we still have left. So I'm a little bit afraid I don't have enough syrup, even though I did a double batch. So I may need to make some more of that, but we're gonna let that come up to temperature. Again, once it's at a rolling boil, it's gonna be 25 minutes of processing. You can see all my dishes gathering in my sink from today's shenanigans. And then we'll turn off the heat and let it sit for 5 minutes. I will show you how many total peaches we get when we're all done. So we got 5 more pints, which we will get into the canner. When that one is done, we'll actually have to replace some of the water so that it's not so hot. And then part of all of this, all these crazy shenanigans, was we did manage to get the onions pretty much cleaned up. That was not an impressive harvest, although we have used a ton of these onions already in projects in the house. The red ones actually grew pretty well. These ones we grew from seed at home, but the rest not so good. We still have that garlic back there that needs to get cleaned up. We have that huge pot of black beans that needs to get cleaned up. I have not done anything with the most recent batch of pepperoncinis. Those will need to get pickled up, and then tons and tons of tomatoes and peppers that are just sitting on my counter. The peppers, I have a whole lot of red ones, so I may just roast some red peppers and throw them in the freezer as red roasted peppers. I might make a sauce of some sort that's just a freezer sauce. We'll see. But for today, these peaches have pretty much tapped me out. I am hot and sticky and sweaty and tired. So I will probably just be done when I'm done with these peaches, and then sit somewhere cool for a few minutes. But I'll show you the peaches when they're all done. All right, that's all the peaches and that sauce we made today. We did have 2 jars of salsa that did not seal well, so we just put them through again. And that's it for today, folks. See you again next time. All right, friends, we did a few other things on this day. We got a bunch of zucchini shredded up. We got a bunch of other veggies shredded up and made some borscht, so some beets and some carrots. And then we made a bunch of zucchini bread out of that zucchini too.